to The Local Show here on QCTV. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Winter Kuharski. The Local Show is a spot where we share some extraordinary stories of some local people and organizations that make your community great. Here we'll share stories of hope, generosity, and inspiration to chase dreams. We'll also be joined by a special in-studio guest, so stick around. When a group of old high school friends comes together and creates a relationship drama feature film, they can't help but show it to the local community. The 90-minute feature film called Finding Home is a story of heartache, heartbreak, and forgiveness. And the film was recently shown at Andover Cinema. Leslie Sauer-Smith got the inside scoop at the special screening.
Well, today is a screening of Finding Home, and Finding Home is a film that was written and directed by Charles Bonin. I believe it was originally released in 2012. And we are doing a special screening of it. I composed the music for it, and just a ton of talented people worked on this film. And I'm impressed with how it looks. The acting is top-notch. You know, for all the film nerds out there, it's amazing when you watch this film to understand that it was only filmed with one camera. That's what we're doing here. We're celebrating the film and showing it to friends and family and all sorts of other folks who want to see it.
I think that when I did this film, when I had the idea in my head, it took me a few months to write it. I kind of left the end a little bit, the dialogue. I wanted to go over it with the actors when I hired them. But when I wrote it and hired the actors, I had a vision that I had in my head of what I wanted it to turn out. I had two different budgets. I had the budget that would allow us to have the camera that I wanted to shoot on, and then the budget that I figured we would have of what we really shot. And because Stein Rosberg came in, he allowed us to have the camera that I wanted to shoot on. And also with what Stein did is he gave the production value of what we're gonna see. He just amped it up so that it looks like we spent $1 million on it. I mean, it's so beautifully shot, the camera, the crew, I mean, everything.
Oh, it's been a long professional relationship. We actually met when we were probably in 6th grade, and he was a good soccer player and I was a soccer player. And so we met when we were kids, went to high school together. We went to Blaine High School. We were involved in Blaine Theater. And then after high school, we lost touch. Went off, did our own thing, and then years later, I ran into him at the gym and he said, "Hey, are you still doing music?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And he said, "Well, I'm making films now, and I'm working on this feature called Finding Home, and I'd love it if you wanted to do the music for it." And I said, "Sure." And we've been working together ever since. That was probably close to 10 years ago now. Yeah.
Because of Stein, because of Chris Schutte, because of Eric Beaudry, who edited, because of Ira Livingston IV, who was associate producer and assistant director, because of the whole team that we did, Tom Colvin, who did the sound, and the actors especially, Brian and Lindsay, because everyone just kind of came together, the movie as we're about to see it turned out exactly as I hoped. And I never thought that would actually, you know, I knew how I wanted it to look, but I never thought that we'd actually get there. But because of just everything that came together and all the ideas, we'd have meetings and everyone would kind of put their 2 cents in, and everyone wanted to make this movie the best that it could be. And I think that it's all something that we're all very proud of.
have a feeling that we haven't seen the last of that film team. The director, Charles Bowen, and his old friends decided to follow their dreams and passions to help each other and create something that they are extremely proud of. So follow your passions, believe in your dreams, and you never know, you might become a big-time Hollywood director, an astronaut, a fireman, the list goes on and on. Are you into dogs and teddy bears and children's books? Well, then I have a story for you. Jimmy Good is a professional dog lover and dog sitter, while his mom Lori has written multiple children's books. QCTV's Catherine and Corey recently caught up with this Anoka family that has enough heart, soul, and bark to go around. Let's take a look.
Well, I was born and raised here in Anoka. I grew up with dogs my entire life. My mom had a Sheltie when we first started off, but then we always had collies. Then we moved slowly into golden retrievers, as you can see. So my job is I like to go and sit and stay, if you will, at people's places with their dogs in their homes. So when they go out for vacations or things like that, then they'll call me up. I will come and basically be like a caretaker for the place and the animals and just kind of watch over it and watch over them.
Well, I've always loved dogs, but I think I saw early on that I wanted to do something. Like my mantra is try to make the world a better place. You're here, you're walking the earth, try to leave it better than you found it. And so with my love of dogs, I thought therapy work would be great. So when I retired from teaching, I taught in Coon Rapids for 34 years. I had Arthur, and we went through therapy dog school, which was 32 weeks. We had to do Obedience 1, Obedience 2, Canine Good Citizen, and then the Therapy Dog International course. And once we qualified, I just was in heaven. I love to go to nursing homes, and we read with elementary kids. We do a lot at Mercy Hospital, colleges. It's just so rewarding. And I'm just the person at the end of the leash. It's the dog that's the star, so that's fine with me.
Lori is a retired teacher and professor, and besides visiting hospitals and nursing homes with her dogs, she has written and published 2 books. The first one is called The Child Who Changed the World, and the second one is A Bear Named Howard. It is no surprise to anyone who knows Lori or has been to their amazing house that the books are about dogs and teddy bears. Their home has plenty of both. Since Jimmy grew up loving dogs, he has found a profession that fits his interests.
I like doing it because it feels natural to me. I've just been doing it my whole life, and I like getting to see other places and other homes and getting to interact with people, and obviously the dogs, which is the main draw. They're so much fun to hang out with. They're better than most people I know. Having a dog is a very powerful thing. It can teach you a lot about yourself and about the world around you. And I think everybody should have one. If you really want to give your dog the best possible scenario while you're gone, and there's really nothing better than if you were to just stay, that this is the best option for you, because not only does it give your dog just some peace and knowing that it's in the same environment it's always in, it's not getting thrust in with like 40 other dogs and it's like kind of chaos and panic. It's easier on you because you know both your house and the ones you love the most are safe.
Jimmy and his mom, Lori, are some of the kindest people QCTV has ever encountered, and we want to thank them for inviting QCTV into their home and for sharing their heartwarming stories. And if you are in need of a dog sitter, make sure to contact Jimmy at Sit and Stay. Since she was a child, Brooklyn Park resident Ashley Kephart was gathering resources and raising money for the needy. Now, as an adult, she's managing a nonprofit foundation that caters to many and various underprivileged needs and even helps soldiers abroad. Matt Overstreet checked in with Ashley at her base of operations, her home.
I am Ashley Kephart. I am 24 years old, and I am the founder and CEO of Kids for a Better World. Kids for a Better World started officially in 2005, but it's an umbrella organization that brings together all of the programs that I had started ever since I was as young as 3rd grade. I initially got into volunteering through the Girl Scouts, which I was in since I was a daisy. And my first programs were very much just volunteer time-based. My first programs were like MUSIC, which was playing my violin at nursing homes or in hospitals. I also started to gather items for the nurse at my school. I noticed that whenever she would run out of items, she would use her own money to buy items like juice boxes, Band-Aids, anything that would be needed. So I started a donation drive so that we could get her items. One of the biggest programs that I've started in terms of just the impact that's had, or the spread that it's had, was the carrying bags for the homeless. Originally, they started, like I said, just as carrying bags for the homeless to try to give a gallon-sized bag with as many toiletries or other personal care items that we could, so that homeless people would have something of their own. No matter where they go, they wouldn't have to use like communal soap. They could have something that they own. We had socks and toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo, soaps, basically just whatever you can fit in a gallon-sized bag. So it's a very simple idea that we've been able to adapt and get youth involved in volunteering, because it's a collection program. So we've been able to really get a lot of people inspired to starting their own initiatives through having those carry bags for the homeless. There are a couple of specific goals, I guess, that I have for the future, and one of them is the future of the organization itself. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do this forever, and I want to make sure that when I am no longer able to, there is a foundation. There are people who will be able to take it up after I no longer can. I want to make sure that these aren't just going to fall by the wayside. They're going to be carried on, or at least in spirit, carried on by people who really care, who are going to carry on trying to help their community in whatever way they can, whatever their passions lead them to. I want to make sure that that foundation is going to be strong. That's one of the most important ways I think that we're trying to build that framework for the future for people who will either carry on the organization specific or the spirit of the organization.
Ashley is a very giving person and a great example on how even donating little things can make the world of difference to those who receive them. Back in 2006, QCTV did a story on Jackson Sutton, an 8-year-old boy who was diagnosed with a form of cancer called Burkitt's lymphoma. He spent 6 months in and out of the hospital undergoing 5 rounds of chemotherapy. This year marks the 10th anniversary of Jackson being cancer-free. Now a senior on the Anoka basketball team, producer Jared Boyer had a chance to catch up with him on senior night.
He had started complaining about stomach aches, and we thought, okay, it's, he's in 2nd grade, he doesn't want to go to school, and then beginning of May was the first time we took it a little more seriously, where it's kind of disgusting, but he threw up one night, and it was
in the middle of the night.
It was not right. So we took him to the ER, and they did an X-ray, and they said, well, there's some air in his intestines, so that's not quite right. You want to follow up with your doctor.
They just thought it was constipation, and then we went and we got a CT scan because the doctor said, and then they're like, oh, well, there's a tumor in there, and yeah, so that's how it started.
They showed us the CT scan, and the tumor filled his entire abdomen and pelvis from his belly button all the way down, just complete tumor. Yeah. And so the doctor said, well, you can go home and come back and be admitted, or, by that time he had a fever, he wasn't feeling well, and now we knew why. And the next morning they did another CT scan, which showed that he had a perforation in his intestine, and so they had to go in for emergency surgery. And we're like, we don't know if he's gonna make it or not. Right then, you go from one day, the night before having pizza and playing in the backyard, and the next day, oh, he might not make it through surgery.
I honestly don't remember a whole lot because I guess the drugs that they give you kind of not make you remember exactly what was going on. Like, I remember bits and pieces, like I have a scar right here where they put the chemo in, and I had a ball, and it would just like slowly go in. And that was when I was at home, but I don't remember exactly what it was like in the hospital.
He goes in once a year for checkups with his oncologist, and he'll have to do that probably every year for the rest of his life. But things have been great.
Yeah.
He obviously has excelled through all of that. So
yeah, 10 years this May.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, I can't believe 10 years have flown by. And,
yeah.
You know, and all he has is basically some scars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Right.
Can't believe I'm already a senior. Like, I remember being a freshman like it was yesterday. It just went by so fast. Like, yeah, I thought I was like, oh, 4 more years of high school, and then right now, we're already halfway done. It's crazy.
You know, at the time we sat there and we kind of wondered where were we going to be, you know, in the future.
Yeah.
A year or 2 years or 5 years. I kind of thought that he wasn't going to be doing this.
Right.
I kind of thought he was going to be one of those kids that needs help all the time. And to have him where he's at today is just...
6'8" senior Jackson Sutton.
He gets the ball over to Sutton. Another three-pointer on the way, and it's good! Top of the key, picks up his dribble. Nice cut by Ledeen. The ball is up. No good. There's Sutton with the rebound. He puts it in. Nice job by Sutton.
Definitely back stronger than ever.
As you can see, everyone in the Sutton family is in very happy spirits nowadays. Going through any type of cancer is challenging and difficult, and thankfully, Jackson's journey only has scars to remind him. With all the crazy things going on in the world today, it can be challenging to keep your chin up, so to speak, but sometimes just thinking positive can help your mood. Recently, Catherine and Corey were at an event and found people who had something positive to say.
We're at the Roseville Ice Arena today, and we're covering 2 hockey games here at QCTV, and the atmosphere is very jolly. So we decided to ask people, what are you feeling so good about today?
Well, we've been having a great season so far, and I'm really excited to see how the outcome of this game goes. We lost to them last time, so hopefully we win, and yeah, I'm feeling good.
I'm Sandy Nelson, the head coach of the Fridley Park Coon Rapids Panthers and Cardinals. I'm feeling good today. It's kind of nice to get up out of bed and go right to the rink. I feel like we've been practicing really well. Girls are excited, and you know, the team that wants it usually wins these kind of games, so I'm pretty confident.
Hi, I'm Sammy Miller, and I go to Fridley Park High School, and I'm feeling good about our chances to win today.
Hi, I'm Jack Zubnar, and I go to Nativity in St. Paul, and today I really hope we can get a win. Playoffs are coming up, and it would be nice to go into them with a win.
So it's nice to see so many people come out and support the young athletes. Along with the QCTV crew, I'm Catherine Lenneberg for The Local Show.
It's always great to be out in the community and hear your fun answers to our man-on-the-street questions. We'll be right back with our special in-studio guest.
Time to wake up, start a new day. I'm sorry, honey. I can't play right now.
Go ask your mom.
Tessa, you can't spend all day sleeping.
How many times did I have to tell you to pick up your toys?
All right, sweetie. We'll be back in a little bit.
Be good.
Dinner's almost ready. Ah, how much she's grown.
Welcome back to the local show. And we are now joined by Bethany Whitehead, the Executive Director of the Banfill-Lock Center for the Arts located in Fridley. The Banfill-Lock Center for the Arts is a nonprofit community art center that supports local artists with exhibits and classes. Thank you so much for joining us, Bethany.
Thanks for having me.
So can you tell us a little bit about the Banfill-Lock Center for the Arts? What is it exactly?
Yeah, we're a community arts center, so we serve the literary and the visual arts, and we serve the people who are both wanting to learn, as well as people who are very experienced by exhibiting or presenting poetry readings from people who are published or have experience in the arts, as well as by offering classes for people who want to learn. And then we also are a great place for people who just want to come and see the arts in the North Metro area here.
Fantastic. So the building itself is full of history. It's actually listed on the National Register of Historic Places. So can you tell us some of what entails being on that registry, some of the stuff that's in the building there?
We're a Greek Revival building. It's one of the oldest buildings in the state of Minnesota even.
Wow.
It's built in 1847. We're right on the Mississippi. John Banfill built the house back then, and it was a hotel, a general store, a post office, a tavern, a rooming house for people who were on the ox cart trail.
So you name it, it's been it.
Yes, it has. And now since 1988, it has been the Art Center, which is a really quaint and wonderful spot to have an arts home.
Fantastic, fantastic. So you have something that's called the Writer in Residence. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. We have a writer in residence as well as an artist in residence. And for 18 months, these individuals spend time at our art center. They're not actually in residence like they live there, but they can use the building 24 hours a day to create their art, whether they're working on a novel or our current writer in residence is working on a bunch of memoir essays about growing up in rural Minnesota.
So if inspiration strikes at 2 o'clock in the morning,
she can come and work there, yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, so the Banfill-Lock Center has countless events, classes, seminars, programs, readings, and exhibitions. Can you tell me about some of those?
Yeah, so once a month we do a poetry reading, which are open to the public. You can come in and hear from 2 writers who are published and experienced, and they'll share their recent work with us. They're a lot of fun. They're really cozy and lovely. We usually get about 45 people to come and have a glass of wine and have some munchies, and then hear from some very talented writers.
Oh, wow,
we
that
do
sounds so
exhibitions throughout the
Mhm.
year, so 11 exhibitions in the year are presented in the galleries, and it's everything from the student art show, which is up right now, which has over 650 works of art by local students from 18 schools. And we also do group shows, so this summer we will have a paranormal art exhibition,
Ooh.
which will be really fun. Kind of plays on the haunted nature of the building as
Mhm.
well. And we do classes and workshops, whether you want to do an all-day writing workshop in May. We have one coming up where we'll have a chance for you to really dive into your writing side and ways that you can learn.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, are there any upcoming events at the Banfill-Lock Center for the Arts that you want to share with us?
Well, our next exhibition opens on March 12th, and that is called Dwellers on the Threshold, and it is an exhibition of 2 artists who really explore how the world is kind of changing through the animals around us. So we have one artist who explores endangered species through prayer shawls that she makes, and those will be in the galleries. And then the other artist paints butterflies and talks about the changing migration and the challenges with butterflies. And we will have a family event on March 13th that's free, and you can come in and make art and talk with these artists and go on a scavenger hunt and have snacks.
Awesome, sounds like a lot of fun. So I've been told that people can actually rent out part of the building for things like parties. How does that work?
Yeah, the building, because it was built kind of as a hotel, it's got a lot of small rooms. It's not a hotel like a hotel that we know today, but it was a large rooming space, but it's broken up quite a bit. So we're not a place to have like a big wedding reception, but we're really great for those small baby showers, little birthday parties. If somebody would like to hold their own event, like a release of a book that they've self-published, we can do those kind of things. And we're very affordable rental fee. We don't have a kitchen, so it's all do it on your own, but if you love a really quaint spot in a lovely park, we're really a great spot for
Something a little bit unique. I like that you mentioned baby showers. We're like, yeah, that'd be a very memorable baby shower, definitely.
Baby showers and wedding showers are our biggest, and it's just, we really are well suited for that.
Fantastic, fantastic. So what is the most fun part about working at the Banfill-Lock Center for the Arts?
It is just different every single day. I get to talk with a whole variety of people. I love that I meet new people who have lived in Fridley or the North Metro area who have never stopped in. They've driven by 100 times, but you also are working with student artists. Last weekend when we had an opening for the student art show, as the one young artist was leaving, he was hopping around saying, "This was so exciting to see my art in a real art gallery." And so those are the things, to see the young, to see the old, and everything in between.
Fantastic, fantastic. So it sounds like it's a really great place, full of history and a very creative place for people to check out. So thank you so much, Bethany, for chatting with us today. We love showcasing great organizations that help the people, right here in our community. So for more information on the Banfill-Lock Center for the Arts and how you can visit and check out their many exhibits and classes or volunteer, you can visit their website. So, that's the end of this edition of The Local Show. We'd like to thank all the people that we featured today for sharing their story with us and for continuing their hard work in their communities. If you know any great organizations or extraordinary people who go above and beyond, contact us. They might be showcased right here on The Local Show. So thank you for joining us today, and please join us next time on The Local Show with more great stories. Oh, and pass along a good deed to others in need.